Okay, I want to make sure this is recording because, let me make sure. You're not going to believe what freaking happened. Today's day 45. And I had been in here around 7:30. Hold on, I'm going to get my coffee. Actually, it was probably closer to a little bit around 7:20. And here's the fucking issue. I was in here and I thought I hit record and I didn't. Apparently, I had hit take a picture. Whatever the hand gesture is for take a picture, that's what I hit. So I've actually already done this today. However, it didn't record and I was getting ready to upload the video. So I have a pretty quick thing. I just turn the phone on, I record. As soon as I'm done, I change, put all my clothes on, I get ready for work, and then bam, I upload the video. I don't even watch the video before these go up to YouTube. The first time I actually see them is when they're on YouTube. And so I was trying to upload the video and it kept saying file not allowed, file not allowed. And so whenever I clicked on the file, turns out I did the hand gesture for a picture, not a video. So I've already done this today. This is day 45. So that's kind of funny considering today is the day of the tipping point. That is good. Today is the day of the tipping point, but nonetheless, for proof, I've said that every plunge would be online. It would be recorded from start to finish. So just because the camera didn't record it doesn't mean I'm not going to redo it again. It needs to be seen. So this is actually my second cold plunge in under half an hour. And the first one was 3 minutes. And what's funny about that last one is I gave this whole spiel about the tipping point and getting past day 45 and what it actually means. So now we got to do it all again. I'm just going to get this over with because this is my second time doing this today. It's honestly comical when you think about it. I'll set you there for now. Yeah. I cannot believe this. So we are officially past day 45. And it's really funny. I guess it's a second take, but I never wanted to do a second take with the cold plunge. There's 3 phases: the start, the tipping point, and then the finish line. Motivation gets you to start, and then that wears thin pretty quickly. You get past those first 2 or 3 days and motivation's gone. I call motivation a mistress. It'll get you going, it's a spark. It's not gonna carry you any further than the first 2 or 3 times you do something. And then what starts to set in is discipline, right? The idea of regardless of the emotion, regardless of the feeling, I made a decision to do this however many days ago, and I'm going to continue doing it. So in this specific case, I made the decision to do the cold plunge challenge for 90 days in a row 2 or 3 months ago, right? This was still early January when I decided I was going to actually commit to this. So I'm honoring the words that I spoke to myself many nights ago, many days before this challenge even started. And that does wonders for you, just keeping the word to yourself, not lying to yourself, right? That makes a big difference. What's funny about today, because it was the tipping point, is I did this morning already. I already did the cold plunge. But I said that each one would be filmed, there would be video proof of me doing it. And so just because I did it, just because my kids were here, just because my wife was here, and they all knew I did it, when I called them, I was like, hey, the video didn't record. They're like, what? Just tell everybody you did it. But that's not what I said I would do. I said I would show video proof. So that meant I needed to throw this camera back up, just the phone, hop back in for another 3 minutes. So that's what I did. The tipping point means we are now closer to the finish line than we are to the beginning. Once you get past motivation, discipline's a continuation, momentum is in there, momentum's carrying. Now it's about, can you just finish? Can you finish for the sake of finishing? Can you finish with a little more pep in your step, if you will? In this case, there's not much more I can do. It's the cold plunge is a cold plunge, but in anything else, if you're running hard or you're cycling, or it doesn't have to be even fitness, if it's something mental like it, what do you have to do to get to that finish line, and can you exceed expectations, right? And so for me, the time frame is 90 days. It is 3 minutes a session, right? So I can't beat my time, right? I can't cold plunge faster. That would actually defeat the purpose in my use case. Nonetheless, I'm very excited that we are officially past day 45, even though I had to do 2 cold plunges on day 45. It's kind of funny. And so we're now closer to the finish line. Day 46 tomorrow. It doesn't get easier, it just gets done. And that's the big thing, is it's not easy. That's why I chose this, and I've said it in almost every video. The cold is the cold. There is no, oh, you get used to it. There is no, oh, your body adapts. It's none of that. It is all in your mind. And every single day, your body hits this cold water and your mind is firing off on all cylinders saying, what are we doing here? And you learn quickly how to get that part of your mind centered, right? That is where the change is. The change is in learning how to center your mind, learning how to get your mind to a place of calm, learning how to give yourself to the process, learning how to embrace the process, not running from it. It's clearly an extremely uncomfortable thing to do, and you're training your brain on how to react, how to proceed in an uncomfortable situation. And you're doing that every single day. And in my case, I'm doing it first thing in the morning before I do almost anything else. That is the purpose of this challenge. How many days can you wake up and do the hard thing knowing it's actually not going to get easier and still show up and do it? And right now I'm winning 45-0. I love that feeling. I love being able to look back and say, I'm not somebody who wants to do a cold plunge for 30 days in a row. I'm someone who can say, I've done the cold plunge 30 days in a row, and there's proof. I've done the cold plunge sub 42, sub 40, 45 days in a row, and there's proof. The difference from going from wanting to being to I have done and it's now on your resume, that's an internal confidence builder. It does something internally for you that's a little bit different, and we won't go into that. I'll do that in the long format video. It does make a difference though. It makes a massive one. So cheers to you guys. Cheers to me for doing this twice in the morning. And day 45 is done. Now it's all about finishing. So we have 44 days left. It doesn't get easier, it gets done. Enjoy this on whatever day you're watching this on. And I hope this one